Okay, I have some fire for you today. Something is happening in the somatic world and it's really bad. Lately, I've been seeing all these ads online for somatic work that are just plain harmful. Most of them center around releasing stored emotions to lose weight. They often, but not always, feature a young, toned, athletic woman executing yoga movements with overlaid text stating things such as, I was finally able to cry and release the blocked emotions in my hips to lose weight. Or lose 42 pounds of cortisol belly with somatic yoga. It makes me furious. Now, I want to be clear here. There are many wonderful somatic teachers out there. I've learned from some, and I continue to seek out mentorship from individuals who push me to expand my work. I am not the only game in town, and that's a good thing. Different teachers will resonate with different people at different phases of their journey. Personally, I like to learn from a wide variety of teachers, all with varied backgrounds. However, when somatic work is weaponized to shame people, not just about their bodies, but also about their most vulnerable experiences, I have to speak up. Listen, body chemistry is a complex thing. To say that trauma is causing all cases of larger body size is not only an incomplete analysis, but it perpetuates shame. Because now you're saying that we can all see everyone's trauma suit. Like, trauma is visible, and while there are indicators of a nervous system that spends the majority of its time in a survival state, you cannot simply glance at a person and see their trauma or know what it means. Meaning is predominantly individual, though it's also largely shaped by collective cultural narratives and constructs. Furthermore, to imply that larger body sizes are wrong or bad or, at the very least, undesirable is downright harmful. It makes anyone living in a body that does not fit the narrow sliver of an ideal body feel as though their body is something that needs to be fixed. And now their emotions are to be blamed for their body shape and size? I mean, sheesh. It used to just be genetics. Now even my feelings are wrong. Look, healing trauma can change your body. It can shift your posture and biomechanics. It can cause you to want to move more. It can change your relationship with food. These things can happen. But do they always happen? No. And does that mean that these people all have unresolved trauma to heal? One can absolutely not make that assertion on body size alone. And while I'm on my soapbox, I'm getting rather comfortable here, if I do say so myself, let's talk about how there's actually no such thing as a trauma healing practice. I mean, truly. This gets a little tricky to explain, but let me try to clarify my position. You see, it's not what you're doing that matters, but how you're doing it. A favorite saying of mine is practices are neutral. That is to say that you can do any physical movement, weightlifting, horseback riding, swimming, walking, etc., in an embodied way. But the converse is also true, that you can do any movement in a disembodied way, and that includes yoga. Listen, if doing yoga were all that were needed to resolve trauma, why wouldn't hundreds of thousands or maybe even millions of people experience spontaneous trauma resolution during yoga classes every day? That's because what actually catalyzes healing is not the movement in and of itself, but the relationship. Movements become a tool to nurture and grow a relationship with your embodied self, if applied with intention and awareness alongside other important tools. Okay, I'm sensing I should cede this soapbox to someone else here shortly, so I'm gonna wrap this up and hand over my megaphone. But the gist of all of this is to please be cautious when hiring a somatic teacher. Whether you decide to work with me, and I'd be honored, or another stellar practitioner of your choosing, just be sure they're not twisting that knife of shame to hook you in. And if you're curious about how I help clients shift anxiety through nervous system healing and not shame, I walk you through the full framework in my free class. You'll learn the science behind how stress gets stuck in the body and the 4-step process that I teach to start unwinding it. You'll also get a closer look at the 30-day reset that I created for building regulation through simple daily practices. Over 900 students have used this approach to calm their baseline and feel more like themselves again. Click the link in the description box to watch the free class. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you found this video helpful, and I will see you in the next one.